Good morning. Good morning. It is summer. Woohoo! I was looking for a noisemaker this morning, or one of those rattles to celebrate. So it is Monday, June 22nd. The solstice was on Saturday. Then we had Father's Day yesterday, Sunday. And here we are on MantraMonday. And so today it's going to be a double header because we spent needed time the past couple of weeks just chatting and just spending some time together because of what has been going on in the world. And it's always good to come back to a spiritual foundation, a spiritual reality, and remind ourselves of what is unchanging. So today I'm going back to Bhagavad Gita as it is. So the version of the Bhagavad Gita that I'm using has been translated and commented upon by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So as his name implies, Bhakti Vedanta, devotion and knowledge. So this is a personalistic view of the Supreme. This is not like the majority of other Bhagavad Gita translations out there that try and twist Bhagavan's words into something else. You have to understand that the basis of the Bhagavad Gita, good morning, make a comment. You have to understand the basis of the Bhagavad Gita, or actually even what it means. Bhagavad is from Bhagavan. Bhagavan is a appellation for the Lord which implies his opulence. And Gita means song. So the Bhagavad Gita means the Lord's song. So in the spiritual world, Devanagari, Sanskrit, is the common language. Not that people are ignorant. Of course, they're fully self-realized and understand everything. However, Devanagari is the common language, and it is said that in the spiritual world that every word is a song and every step is a dance. So it is an extremely beautiful, graceful place. And it is a conversation between the Prince Arjuna and Krishna. And this is happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, right in the middle of the history of the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata, Maha means great, the Bharata is another name for India, it's an old name for India, and it actually goes back to the brother of Ramachandra, whose name was Bharata, when Bharata was ruling the entire Earth planet. Okay, there's a lot of information in there, but I wanted to give you some historical context for what I'm talking about today, how old it is and how far it goes back. So in my song, Dehi no Smin, from my album Yoga on the Dance Floor, there is a breakdown, of some of the key essential verses of the Bhagavad Gita. But at any rate, there are many, 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 many things that are discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. And of course, there's a discussion about, fundamentally, what is the soul? What is the difference between spirit and matter? What is time? What is karma? What is a living entity, the jiva? And also, what is the nature of the absolute? What is it exactly? And so I thought it would be nice. This is actually one of my favorite chapters, chapter 10, which is called the Opulences, or the opulence of the absolute. And in it, there is a breakdown of how we can see Bhagavan in our environment, in the things around us and things that we experience seasonally. So I picked two verses today, kind of skipping ahead to 10:18, verse 18, and verse 19. All right, so let's get into it. So as usual, I'm going to chant or read the Sanskrit because it's very purifying and it's very nice to hear, even if we don't say it perfectly, and I may not this morning, and that's okay. And then I will get into verse 19, and then I'll go back, I'll read the translations and read the synonyms and break it down. All right, ready? Here we go. Okay. Put on my glasses because this light is kind of hitting my eye in a strange way. It makes it a little challenging to see. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita 10:18. Vistareṇātmano yogam, vibhūtiṁ cha Janārdana, bhūyaḥ kathaya tṛptir, śṛṇvato nāsti me mṛtam. Again, vistareṇātmano yogam, vibhūtiṁ cha Janārdana, bhūyaḥ kathaya tṛptir, śṛṇvato nāsti me mṛtam. So that was the question in Sanskrit by Prince Arjun, and the reply, 10:19. Shri Bhagavan uvacha hantate katayisyami divyahi atma vibhūtaya pradanyata kuru shteshta nāsti anto vistarasya me. I'll repeat that. Shri Bhagavan uvacha hantate katayisyami divya hi atma vibhūtaya pradantyata kurushteshta nāsti anto vistarasya me. So right away I see that word vistarasya has been used twice here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to 10:18, and I'm going to do the translation. Vistareṇa, in detail, ātmanaḥ, your, yogam, mystic power, vibhūtiṁ, opulences, cha, also, Janārdana, O killer of the atheists, bhūyaḥ, again, kathaya, describe, tṛptiḥ, satisfaction, he, certainly, śṛṇvataḥ, hearing, na asti, there is not, me, my, amṛtam, nectar. So I'm going to go into the translation by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. O Janārdana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Well, that's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to read that again. O Janārdana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So without even getting into the purport, there's already things that jump out right here. And that, for me, is please describe in detail your mystic power of your opulences. So the thing about Bhakti Yoga, and this path in particular, is that it is extremely detailed. There isn't anything vague about it. There may be things that go over our head, things that we may not be able to capture and grasp right away, because there are so many concepts that we are just not familiar with. There's so many things that we're just not living in this present time. But the beautiful thing is that it is rich in detail, and it is rich in detail about the mystic power of Bhagavan, of your opulences. So that means that there is a great deal of depth here. It is very rich. It is very rich in information. I am never satiated in hearing about you. So this speaks to the ever-fresh quality of Krishna. So remember, Krishna, even though his age is incalculable, right? God has been around literally forever. Still, he always appears to be a very fresh youth of 16 years old. That is how God manifests himself. I know that here in the West we tend to think of God as an old man with a long beard who's feeble. I know Michelangelo was trying to convey this idea of age, of eternality. So that was the best that he could come up with. But in the Vedic version, the Lord is actually ever fresh and ever youthful. So as he is appearing ever fresh and ever youthful, it's to be understood that everything about him is absolute. So the words that he is speaking are also ever fresh and eternal. So Arjuna continues and he says, "For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words." So unlike mundane talk, which we get tired of after a while, maybe we can listen to something. Well, I'll give an example. Like I love Jeff Buckley. I love that album Grace. I've listened to that album more times than I can even tell you. But still, I can get to a certain point, maybe the 101st time that I've listened to that album, and I need a break. I need a break from it. So, going on to the purport. A similar statement was made to Sūta Gosvāmī by the ṛṣis of Naimiṣāraṇya, headed by Śaunaka. That statement is, Vayam tu na vitripyama uttama shloka vikrame yakshināvatam rasagyananam svadu pade pade. One can never be satiated even though one continuously hears the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, who is glorified by excellent prayers. Those who have entered into a transcendental relationship with Krishna relish at every step the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord. That is taken from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's the first chapter. It's 1:119 if you want to look it up. Thus Arjuna is interested in hearing about Krishna, and specifically how he remains as the all-pervading Supreme Lord. Now, as far as amṛtam, nectar, is concerned, any narration or statement concerning Krishna is just like nectar, and this nectar can be perceived by practical experience. Modern stories, fiction, and histories are different from the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, and that one will tire of hearing mundane stories, but one never tires of hearing about the all-attractive. It is for this reason only that the history of the whole universe is replete with references to the pastimes of the incarnations of Godhead. The Puranas are histories of bygone ages that relate the pastimes of the various incarnations of the Lord. In this way, the reading matter remains ever fresh despite repeated readings. So there you have it. So for those of you who've got some other, spiritual practice, for example, in Christianity, there's always a reference to water and to the well and to the living spring, right? To the living spring of life. So here it is another perspective helping bring this idea more into focus, because we are focusing on the person from whom this nectar and from who this energy by whom we are maintained. So, the response is as follows. Shri Bhagavan uvacha hantate katayisyami divyahi atma vibhūtaya pradanyanta kurushtishta nāsti anto vistarasyame. Shri Bhagavan uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Uvacha means to speak or to say. Hanta, yes. Te, unto you. Katisyami, I shall speak. Divya, divine. Hai, or he, certainly. Atma vibhūtaya, personal opulences. Pradanyata, which are principal. Kuru shreshta, O best of the Kurus. Na asti, there is not. Antaha, limit. Vistarasya, to the extent. Me, my. So, wow. Here, this is just popping out at me. Kuru, shreshta, O best of the Kurus. So Arjuna, he is part of the Kuru dynasty, and he is definitely a shining star amongst the devotees. He has, along with his brothers and along with Draupadi, they have an eternal relationship. They reenact this pastime over and over and over again, from universe to universe to universe, because there's an Earth planet in all the different universes. This isn't the only Earth planet. This is a smaller version of Earth, but it isn't the only one. But at any rate, they are very, very intimate friends. And so Bhagavan is praising Arjuna, for his line of questioning. Of course, this line of back and forth and questioning has been going on for quite some time now. We're already into chapter 10. And he says, Na asti antaha, there is no limit. There is no limit to the extent of my opulences. So he is saying that he is going to explain which ones are principal. The translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendiferous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Purport. It is not possible to comprehend the greatness of Krishna and his opulences. The senses of the individual soul are limited and do not permit him to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs. So this is an acknowledgement of how small we are. And even though we may try with our intelligence, and with our hearts to grasp everything, that is magnificent, that is splendiferous of the Lord and his different manifestations, we have to admit that we can't. That's why often we feel ourselves in this mood of awe, in this kind of mood of awe and reverence, when we look at the night sky and we just see what seems to be unlimited stars, for example, or sunsets, or the way the seasons turn, so many different things. Still, the position of the devotee, right, the position of the yogi, is we try to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs, because this is like nectar for us. We are like bees, and Krishna is the flower. So we are always dipping into these incredible, unlimited aspects of this grand, intricate, sophisticated personality. When you love someone, you want to know everything about them, and you want to constantly deepen your relationship and have an exchange. So this is the position of a bhakti yogi. Still, the devotees try to understand Krishna, but not on the principle that they will be able to understand Krishna fully at any specific time or in any state of life. Rather, the very topics of Krishna are so relishable that they appear to the devotees as nectar. Thus, the devotees enjoy them. In discussing Krishna's opulences and his diverse energies, the pure devotees take transcendental pleasure. Therefore, they want to hear and discuss them. Krishna knows that the living entities do not understand the extent of his opulences. He therefore agrees to state only the principal manifestations of his different energies. The word pradanyataha, principle, is very important because we can understand only a few of the principal details of the Supreme Lord, for his features are unlimited. It is not possible to understand all, and vibhūti, as used in this verse, refers to the opulences by which he controls the whole manifestation. So there's that. In the Amara Kosha dictionary, it is stated that vibhūti indicates an exceptional opulence. So people, there is a dictionary. The impersonalist or pantheist cannot understand the exceptional opulences of the Supreme Lord, nor the manifestations of his divine energies, both in the material world and in the spiritual world. His energies are distributed in every variety of manifestation. Now Krishna is describing what can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus, part of his variegated energy is described in that way. Well, that was a lot right there. So, when we're talking about the opulences of the Absolute, it spans both realities, right? Because we are living a dual existence, right? When we come here to the material world, there's this temporal reality that we are living in with a body, and during the course of our lifetime between birth and death, and in between the course of the other lifetimes that are surrounding us, that are also going through this arc of birth and death. Right? We have spring and we have winter, we have summer, we have fall, we have all those things that come in between, and all those life forms that manifest during those times. And we also have another reality which is the spiritual world. And so there is that as well. So when Krishna comes to manifest his lila or his pastimes, he is exhibiting part of his spiritual activities in the spiritual world. That's what the rasa dance is about. Even the chastisement and the killing of the asuras, like Agarasura or Kamsa, or all these different demons that come. Some of the demons actually are not manifested, some are not actually manifested in the spiritual world. But this whole pastime is just a glimpse of the mood, and the feeling and the exchanges and the way that Krishna heightens that intensity of love and the way he draws it out for us. But here, in this world, when we see the spring, for example, Krishna says, of seasons I am the flower-bearing spring. Of course, spring is past now. But when we look at the beautiful, delicate flowers that manifest, just the visual poetry of that season and everything that is coming forth and being manifest, that is a way in which we can remember him and appreciate him and how beautifully he has carpeted the world and decorated the world for us, and gives us that feeling of hope and renewal and possibility. So that is one way. So this glimpse today is just to give you a little taste of what's going to be coming up in the next several weeks. And this nectar, this happiness that is available to us here in this plane while we continue to develop our super consciousness, while we continue to develop our relationship. And part of developing a relationship with someone is developing our appreciation for them. And when we really get into a friendship with someone, they start to reveal parts to themselves that we didn't know about before. That's a sign that we are getting closer to them. That's a sign that our relationship is becoming more and more intimate with them. So this is the beauty of Bhakti Yoga, is that we have an opportunity to actually get closer to the source in ways that are less general, in ways that are less vague. So that is the wonderful and beautiful thing about this conversation, about this Bhagavad Gita. As it goes on chapter by chapter by chapter, it starts off with an overwhelming situation that Arjuna finds himself in, where he is grieving, and then gradually it gets into karma yoga, and it gets into what the nature of the soul is, and it gets into what the actions are that a yogi can take, how they behave, how they sit, how they stand, how they sleep, how they think, and so on. And then gradually Krishna is revealing himself in this 10th chapter, as a friend to Arjuna more intimately. So, speaking of stories, I hope that y'all got to check out the story that is down here on the page if you haven't been around for a few days. I want to thank everyone. It's really been great seeing everyone's response to my little story about the handsome photographer. Speaking of love stories. So that's down there, and I promised you that there was going to be a release that went along with that, and it is up. So if you go to my Instagram page, akayani_musical_yoga, there is the song that has been released. It is super chill. It's a great thing to listen to if you just need to chillax. It's a great thing to listen to on the weekend. And it is a little kind of a spoken word musical piece about that encounter, that coup de foudre, and what happened. And I've also added some very cool photos in there, gone through the archives and dug up some more photos of myself modeling, my modeling days in Paris, by one of my favorite all-time photographers, Mr. Jimmy Brook, who you can also follow on Instagram. And what else? And also some concert footage, because Ulrika, some of you have been saying that you've missed me performing live. Now, I miss performing live too. So I am working on some different things to improve the setup around here, so I can do more of that for you. That's what I want to do, but I want to make sure that it is of the right quality. And speaking of working on new things, I'm excited because I'm going to be doing an unboxing on Instagram in about, I do a live there at 9:35 for my Instagram peeps, because I had mentioned that I'm working on a new tune. So in order to record at home, I got some new stuff. So I'm going to be unboxing this over on Instagram when I see you over there. So as always, the mantras, the Sanskrit, and the word-for-word translations, they are scheduled to appear on this page at 9:35 a.m. You'll get verse 10:18, and at 9:36 a.m. you will get verse 10:19. There you have it. If you are watching this video on YouTube, then you will see that the verses are put down in the description, and there you have it. All right, y'all, so you have a wonderful week. Also, members of my Yoga on the Dance Floor Facebook group, don't forget, we have got a live cooking demo coming up this Wednesday. It is June. The weather is decidedly warmer, and so I'm going to be showing you how to do salads. I'm doing 3 different salads this Wednesday, because who wants to cook? I don't want to cook. I just want to do something that's easy and simple. And this is going to be stuff that you've got around, but it's going to have a new twist on it, because salads, it's always about the dressings, right, and the combination. But everyone knows what romaine lettuce is. Everyone knows what potatoes are, and everyone knows what the humble cabbage is. So those are going to be our base ingredients for that. So make sure that you are available at noon on Wednesday. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific Time, to catch that demo. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so see you later.